YouTube, what is up everybody? Doomwake here. Welcome back to another modern video on the channel. You know what I'm going to say as always. Before we continue, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the video. Just drop a comment down there. How about the YouTube algorithm? Try and get us up to where we want to be. So today, as you can see, we're doing some weird stuff today. So there's a card from Modern Horizons 2. If you haven't seen it yet, this is what we're building our deck around. It's called Calibrated Blast. So for those of you who have been playing since the Stone Age, you remember a card called Erratic Explosion, which I believe was originally from Onslaught. Let me just look it up here. I want to say it's Onslaught. Like 99% sure. Yeah, it's Onslaught. So basically what you're doing is you're paying 3 mana for an instant. You're flipping cards until you hit a non-land card. And you can shoot something. You can shoot any target equal to that spell's converted mana cost. So the idea is we have the two most expensive cards in the entire format. They both have converted mana cost, or I guess mana value of 15. So the idea is dome them for 15. It's really simple. So what we're doing here, we also have, you'll notice here, we have some 12 drops in Scion of Draco, which notably with Calibrated Blast is 12 damage. However, the really nice thing about Scion of Draco is when you just naturally draw it. Normally when you draw your 15 mana card, it's a blank because you can't cast it. The nice thing about Scion is, well, you can still cast it because it's only if you have the Triumph Shockland mana base, which we do have. We have Endotha Triumph plus Steam Vents. If you have those 2 lands as your first 2 lands, this thing only costs 2 mana, so you can still just play it on turn 2 before you play your Calibrated Blast, so it curves really nicely. You could imagine a scenario where you go turn 2 Scion of Draco, turn 3, attack for 4, maybe your opponent cracks a single fetch land, they're at 15, and all of a sudden, boom, Calibrated Blast, reveal Emrakul, you're dead. And then the rest of our deck is Throes of Chaos, which is another not a Modern Horizons 2 card, but a Modern Horizons 1 card, which is 4 mana, sorcery, Cascade, which is flip until you cast a spell, hit a card with less mana value, which the only thing it can hit is Calibrated Blast, and then it has Retrace. So both of your cards, also notably Calibrated Blast has Flashback for 3 red, so if the first one doesn't kill them, 2 turns later the second one, probably going to kill them. And then same with Throes of Chaos, if you cast this on turn 4 and you miss, you can either flashback the throws, or excuse me, retrace the throws, or just flashback the Calibrated Blast that you hit off of it. So besides our 15 drops that we can't cast, by the way, I guess maybe, probably not, but maybe. And then the Scion of Dracos, which you can play on curve. The effective 6 copies of Calibrated Blast. Hopefully we won't hit a Calibrated Blast off of a Calibrated Blast. So that is one thing that is obviously not great. And then 42 lands, because remember, we want to make sure we play as little spells as possible to give us the highest chance of hitting a 15 drop. And the nice thing about playing a pile of lands is we get to play some sweet utility lands. So we have 4 Gemstone Caverns to help us go faster on the draw. We have the Desert package of 4 Sunscourge, 4 Raminap to, close out the extra couple of points, because sometimes you deal them 15 with Calibrated Blast, and maybe they either have a graveyard hate piece or you lose access to the flashback half in one way or another, that you need some ways to close the finish line after dealing the first 15. That's where those come in, along with Mishra's Factory as well to help. Again, it's a good blocker if you need that. Can also push through the last couple points of damage. We have 1 Beseiju to go at the 3 in our sideboard against control. We have 1 Blast Zone. 1 Colony Garden if you need a blocker, Radiant Fountain if you need some life, and then the rest of the mana base over here, I guess with the exception of Raminap Ruins, is our Fetches and Shocks. Again, to try and facilitate the Scion of Draco Triumph into Steam Vents on turn 2. So, that is the Calibrated Blast deck in all of its glory. And then when we move to the sideboard, we have a Karuga, because why not? We are fulfilling the companion rule, and the rule is, if your deck can fulfill a companion rule, you might as well play a companion. Again, the aforementioned Beseijus for the control matchup. Nephalia Academy, which is another sweet utility land if your opponent's playing with Thoughtseize and Duress and Inquisition and that kind of stuff. I guess Duress not as much, but Thoughtseize, Inquisition. If they cast a discard spell and they say maybe take your Calibrated Blast, you can just choose to put it on top of your library. Yeah, it says you may, so you don't have to, but most of the time, if they're going to take your Calibrated Blast, you probably would want to put it back on top. And then we have some interesting split cards here. Now, the reason we're playing with split cards is, again, Calibrated Blast. We want our spells to be as high mana value as possible. So Consigned to Oblivion. It's a 2-mana bounce spell. We're rarely ever going to play it for the Aftermath half, but it's a 2-mana bounce spell that has mana value 7. So in terms of, Calibrated Blast, it's like not that embarrassing to hit a 7. It's not great, but there are going to be some games where your opponent has like Leyline of Sanctity and other stuff that you might not be able to beat because Leyline of Sanctity gets around Calibrated Blast, and you might want a way to bounce that. And then also we have Rough Tumble, which is sort of a similar thing. Its total mana value is 8. We're likely never casting Tumble, but Rough is 2 mana for 2 damage to each creature without flying. So you can imagine spots where you might want to bring that in against heavy creature decks, like tribal decks or something like that. And it's just nice to have access to. Now, granted, I don't think I'm going to do a ton of sideboarding because I think there's going to be very, very rare specific situations that I want these type of cards. Because for the most part, you just want to keep your deck intact. We're going to get a ton of juice out of these lands. These are the ones we're going to be boarding in more likely. But again, you want to try to avoid boarding these in if possible because you want to stick to your main game plan as much as possible. But that is the deck list. So without further ado, I'm excited to get into this one. I'll see you back here in just a little bit for number 1. Alrighty, YouTube, round number 1. Let's see if we can blast our opponent out of the game. We'll reveal our Karuga. Little hippo action. What do we got? I got an Emrakul, which we obviously can't cast. This hand is basically 5 lands and a Scion. And we can do better. I'm going to ship it. Basically, I'm just going to try and mulligan towards Calibrated Blast if possible. Definitely can't keep this. So on 5, I think I'm going to consider keeping this hand because we do have a turn 2 Scion. And I'm already on 5. I don't really think I'm supposed to go to 4. We can just put back the 15 drops that we will not be able to cast. And the hope is that our opponent cracks a fetch, takes a hit from a Scion, we draw a Blast, and easy GG. So let's go and dot the Triumph on 1, so we can fetch Steam Vents on 2 and play our Scion. Well, they're not going to be cracking a fetch this game, so we're going to have to do it the hard way, if you will. Alright, we got a Scion. Alright, Scion you. Let's see what you got. So yeah, it is kind of unfortunate that Tron does not ever deal itself a point of damage. So I guess we have the Sunscorched Desert. So if we draw Calibrated Blast, we can go attack for 4, Sunscorched, and then hopefully hit a 15. Does a Dismember? Okay. Well, we got 4 out of it. That's all we wanted, so we'll take that. Alright, Calibrated Blast. Let's play the Sunscorched Desert. And let's just put Karuga into our hand, because why not? Even though I don't think we're going to be casting it. And we might, but it doesn't count itself, unfortunately. It's each other permanent, which, kind of stinks, because whenever they kill your Scion, that's the only other thing you're ever going to draw a card off of, because you're obviously not going to put Emrakul or Worm into play. I mean, outside of those, like, very, very rare circumstances, but it's usually not going to happen that way. So we kind of need to draw a Blast or a Throes of Chaos, like, right now, because they have Tron. And that is usually a bad sign. Okay. Guess we'll play Sunscorched Desert. Alright, your turn. Ain't got nothing going on. We can cast Karuga next turn. So we get blue here, green here. So we can cast it. Not that it's really going to do that much, but, it's a 5/4. It's big. It's definitely big. Not loving our spot, though. Maybe I'm supposed to just, like, mulligan every single hand that doesn't have Blast. But I don't know, on 5 with a turn 2 Scion, it's like we have a couple draw steps to find Blast. I thought it was okay. I have Karn Liberated, so they can start blowing up our lands, which they might do. Is this a Ugin? Or excuse me, Ulamog? Perhaps. Maybe a Wormcoil Engine. I got the Ulamog. So they're likely going to start blowing up our lands. which is fine because we have enough lands in our hands to be able to cast most of our spells, so we're not too concerned. I guess it does shut off, like, the flashback of Calibrated Blast, especially once I get Ulamogged. It's going to be pretty tough to flash it back. Okay, I don't really think there's much reason to wait, so let's not expose the Raminap Ruins. And let's cast Calibrated Blast. We revealed Scion of Draco. Alright, so they go to 2. I think I have to dome them. I mean, I guess I could have killed the Karn. Maybe it was better to kill the Karn there? It's kind of tough. No. Like, I guess killing the Karn makes it so I can flash it back. But if I kill the Karn, they play any land, and then I still have to hit a 15 next turn because they're still at 14, which means Scion is not lethal. So I'm in a spot where, like, even if I kill the Karn, that doesn't matter. Even if I kill the Karn, I'm still kind of weak to Ulamog. Oh, okay. Well, or we just get really lucky and draw throws. Cool. You love to see it. Alright, upstairs. Game number 2. We revealed another Scion of Draco. Alright, so we're playing against Tron. I don't really think any of these do anything. They don't play creatures. Maybe Consign to Oblivion. I'm trying to think of, like, what permanents they would have. They definitely don't have lane... they could have lane line. But the problem is, like, this matchup is really just all about speed and just, you know, the downside of, like, hitting a 7 off of Calibrated Blast is so bad. Because you just don't have that kind of time in this matchup. I think you just have to keep your deck the same. Just run it back. So, we will not make any changes. We will reveal the Hippo, though. Alright. Sounds good. I mean, it's a good 6-card hand, but, yeah. We have Blast into Throws. We can't really ask for much more than that. Hopefully they don't have Leyline. Because we will not be able to win if they have Leyline. I don't think Tron usually plays white Leyline, but... Sand does, in fact, do the thing. Alright, I'm not going to expose my red land. The question is, do I want to play Boseiju first, or do I want to start attacking with Factory? I think I want to start attacking with Factory. So I can go Factory on 1, Fountain, Fire Up, attack for 2. Hopefully they don't have Karn. Okay. Yeah, let's just not expose any red sources quite yet. Not really a reason to. They could have Dismember, which makes this really bad, but if they're dismembering, they're time walking themselves too, because they're not cracking the map. Maybe this is just so bad against Dismember that it's just not worth it. Okay, they're gonna crack the map. It's kind of close, but... Alright, they revealed Urza's Mine. So, hopefully no Karn. Damn it. Okay. I guess there was also consideration on leading Fetch and just not firing up the Mutavault. And then we have a guaranteed Calibrated Blast on 3 when they can't Karn us. Like, now I think I'm just going to play Fetches and not crack them. But yeah, maybe that was better. And just go Fetch into Fetch, and their turn 3 Karn is just blanked. And we get a guaranteed Calibrated Blast. And then that way, if they Karn minus and we draw another Blast, we're good to go. But now they're going to downtick on our other land, and we're probably not going to be able to play a spell this game. Yeah, I probably messed that up. Well, they're plussing. Well, you can have this worm. Okay. Interesting. What are they getting? Are they getting Trinisphere? Because Trinisphere does shut off the Throes of Chaos. Chalice of the Void. Oh, so they're just going to Chalice on 3 next turn. Right. And we're probably not going to be able to win. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Would I have won this game if I had played Fetch? So they'd be at 20. Let's assume best case scenario, I get to blast them, hit them to 5. But then they can still just start Karning. I don't know, I'd probably still lose this game. I guess it gives me a shot at drawing another blast, because they can't minus the first turn it comes into play. So I would have at least given myself outs to draw another blast. So it probably would have been better if I had just gone fetch. Now I don't know if I can beat this Chalice, because I didn't bring in Consign. I still think I'm not going to bring in Consign. It's just fetch a red source, because I want to get red mana anyways. I don't really want to draw tap land. Alright, let's, I guess, play this and pass. Maybe I'm supposed to go after the Karn Liberated. But I still just lose to the Chalice, right? Yeah. I don't think it matters too much. Like, they're gonna minus, force the action. And then they're just gonna Chalice on 3. We revealed. We did hit the 15. Yeah. Guess we have to, like, somehow hope that our lands can somehow get us there, but they can just keep alternating between plus and minus on this. What do they got? Probably something else I can't beat. Liquid metal coating. Yeah, okay. Alright, we'll just move on. We'll move on to the next game. I still don't think I want Consign, though, just because, again, you just have to be so aggressive. You can't afford to hit a 7, I think. Maybe I'm just, like, misunderstanding that particular aspect of it, but I don't know. I'm just going to submit. Oh, you know what? Boseiju actually gets around Chalice, huh? Maybe I want more Boseijus because of Chalice. I mean, Blast Zone just doesn't do anything, right? Neither does Colony Garden. Okay. I probably should have had more Boseijus versus Chalice. Didn't think about that. Nope. 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 Stack these mulligans are pretty easy. It's the problem with playing Scion of Draco. You have a lot of lands that do not cast Scion of Draco. I am going to keep this hand. Just put back the obvious cards. But you do have a lot of lands that do not cast Scion of Draco. Which is kind of awkward. So it's like, sometimes it's a playable card, and sometimes it's just not. Power Plant Star. Let's go Ramunap, go. So hopefully we just draw another Blast and everything's okay. Or a Throes of Chaos. But we might get Karned on 3 again. Seems like we're gonna get Karned. I don't like it. Maybe they just have Wormcoil. We can beat a Wormcoil. Because we can likely just take... They take one hit from a Wormcoil and then just flash this back. They got Sanctum. So they already have Tron. That's definitely not what we were looking for. Definitely not what we were looking for, I'll tell you that much. 7 mana. Karn Liberated. They always have it. Alright, so let's do this. Let's see what we hit. We hit a 15. Do we go upstairs? Upstairs, hope to peel Blast. I don't think I'm winning this game by dealing 15 to their card and leaving them at 20. So yeah, I think I gotta go upstairs. Alright, Blast. Blast. Guess I'll put Karuga in my hand. Even though I'm obviously never casting it. It's a card I can exile the Karn. Now this time they surely downtick, right? On my only red source. Yeah, okay. They just have more Karns. They have Ugin. I think we are not winning this game. I think that's my expert analysis. Look, I'm just happy that we got a game. I don't think this deck is remotely good, but I'm just happy that we got a game. This is solely for the content. All right, I'm off it. Well, you know, here we are. That's round 1, Calibrated Blast. I'll see you back here, round number 2. All right, YouTube, round 2. Our goal is to get 1 match. I will be happy if we get 1 match. It's weird. I've seen this deck 5-0 a couple times, and I don't know how they do it. Don't know how they do it. Okay, well this hand has turn 2 Scion, turn 3 Blast, so this hand's kind of the nuts, right? Alright, let's go with it. We're playing against Kahira, which means maybe Elementals. This might actually be one of the good matchups, because they don't have a ton of meaningful interaction. They have Teferi, but Teferi doesn't stop Blast, it only stops Throes of Chaos. I guess they have some graveyard hate, so they can, like, endurance away the Blast after I cast it. This hand is kind of awkward against Elementals, too, because you're not presenting them that many targets for Solitude. So it's just like, you know, they're Solitude. They have a pile of Solitudes and Furies, and this is your only target, so it's so likely to die against them, but... What you got? What do you got? Stomping Ground, Utopia Sprawl. Nope, Flamekin Harbinger. Aight. Flamekin Harbinger reveals Risen Reef. Makes sense. Let's get Indatha Triome into Steam Vents. So we can play Scion of Draco. Alright, there's our Scion. And the next turn, we're going to start blasting him. Next turn, we're going to start blasting them. If they don't kill the Scion, they might just die. So, there's that. They might quite literally just die next turn, if they don't kill the Scion of Draco. I have to imagine they are going to kill it, but... You know, not much we can do about that. We're just here playing our cards. That's all we can do. Ooh, if they shock... Okay, they didn't shock. Tilt. Another Flamekin Harbinger. So we know about the Reef. What else are they getting? Probably a removal spell for Scion. No, Tangled Florahedron. So they just have one rolled up? Yep, okay. So they have 2 cards, one of which is a Reef, and they have a Florahedron on top. Cool. Alright, we'll take one. It's fine. Play a Ramunap Ruins, and we'll pass the turn. What you got? Maybe they will shock. Oh, Florahedron pass. So they have Reef, one unknown. Well, we're going upstairs. Let me tell you, we are going upstairs. That. We revealed Scion of Draco. Alright, take 12. Take 12. We got another blast? No. Alright, so let's go Karuga to hand, because we can't do anything else this turn, and then fetch for a tap land, just to thin our deck of a land. And then hopefully we'll kill them next turn. We need to not hit a Throws or another Blast. Anything else kills them. Alright, so there's the Reef. Take 2, go to 11, fetch to 10. Get Triome. And let's just fire it off. No reason to wait, right? Can't really think of a reason. Alright, let's just fire it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drum roll, please! Scion of Draco, you're dead. Game 2, let's go. So we're playing against Elementals. Rough Tumble is interesting. I'm trying to think of the cards that we care about the most. Like, I think the card that we care about the most is Teferi, because it stops Throes of Chaos. And the other card that we probably care about is Endurance, is because it flashes, or it shuffles, or puts the Calibrated Blast in the bottom and makes it so we can't flash it back. But that being said, Consigned and Rough, neither of those are very good against Teferi and or Endurance. So I don't really think... I think we just don't have any good cards. I guess we could have Boseiju in case they have Force of Negation, which they likely do. So what is my worst lands? Colony Garden's good at blocking. I like Radiant Fountain because they can get aggressive. Maybe Blast Zone? They're kind of glutted at 3s, like Risen Reef, Teferi, that kind of stuff. Blaststone could take care of that. I mean, you know what? Mishra's Factory is probably bad, right? I can't imagine ever activating Factory against them. Let's just do a 2-2 split. Or I guess a 3-2 split. But they likely do have Force of Negation, so I don't mind bringing in Boseiju. I mean, I got lands and I got 2 blasts, so I'm with it. Let's do it. This hand unfortunately cannot cast Sign of Draco on turn 2, even if we were to draw it, but... Alright, Stomping Ground, Flamekin Harbinger. What you got? Risen Reef, okay. I accept. I guess I still kind of want to fetch the Abzan Triome, because it's a tap land, and it does give me the best shot at getting closer towards Sign of Draco. So I guess I'll still fetch the Abzan Triome. I got plenty of red mana. Not too worried about that. I got a Cavern. What's this? Voice? Thunderkin Awakener. Okay. So I'll take 2. I will take 2. Let's go fetch Indafa. Rose of Chaos. Alright, let's play Mountain Pass. Nothing going on over here. Don't worry about what we're doing. Don't worry about what we're doing. That's not Teferi mana. It is Risen Reef mana, but... Certainly could have Force of Negation. But the nice thing is they can't cast Force of Negation given their mana base. And Calibrated Blast is an instant, so... That is the good thing. I'm just not going to blast main phase. I don't even really have to blast at all. I can just wait, because they don't... I don't even have to upkeep it. Because they don't have a blue mana in play, so they can't get to a second blue to play the hardcast Force of Negation. So I can just wait till EOT. Just give them less information, even though it's like pretty obvious that I have it, you know. Given that I kept 7 cards, it did nothing. Sure, it's fine. I think I can just let all this happen. Probably just auto yield to that. Okay. So they got 2 cards in hand. Take 3, go to 12. We'll fire off this Blast DOT. Hopefully just get to dome them. Alright, boom. Blast you. What do we got? Upstairs. Upstairs. Revealed Throes of Chaos. I'm still going to go upstairs. Because... yeah, that makes Draco lethal now. So it is still worth going upstairs, I think. Even though I could use that to kill a Risen Reef, but if I kill a Risen Reef, they're at 16. And then I can't... ooh, that was actually not a bad draw. So now we can go play this tapped, hold up the other Calibrated Blast. Again, I don't want to cast a spell in my main phase because it's so likely they have Force of Negation. And I think what I might do... I'm going to wait till they cast a spell. So they're end of turn casting Solitude. They're trying to get me to respond here, to play into their force, but I just don't want to do that, right? I don't think so. Because they just can't cast force. Right, what else am I playing around? I guess more Solitudes. Because they could Solitude their own stuff to gain some life. But I think this is fine. I think I can just wait until they put a spell on the stack and then cast the Blast. Because they still have no blue mana in play to even get, like, close to hardcasting force. Because these lands come into play tapped. I'll take 4. I will take 4. I got 2 more blasts in me before I die. Well, I guess they don't even technically have lethal next turn, but... So potentially 3 more blasts. Although, the problem is if the first blast doesn't kill them and they have endurance, it's kind of rough. But then I have throws, so I just have to hope they don't have endurance plus force. Alright, they're putting that in their hand, which means they don't have hard cast endurance, but... Alright, let's cast Blast. See what we got. See what we got. Alright, upstairs. So, if they have Solitude, they could kill their own thing to go to 1. But then they also just lose to the Ruins. So, yeah. Alright, so they can Solitude their own thing, and this is other creatures, so Solitude cannot target itself. So they can only gain 1 life here. So they go to 1. And then I believe the Ruins just kills them straight up, right? I guess they could have 2 more Solitudes? This would have been bad if they had Endurance, because what they could have done is... Oh, I see. Okay, so they're just going to pitch 2 Solitudes. This is fine, though, because I can just upkeep Blast them again. Unless they also have Endurance. But I was going to say, what they could have done was go Endurance, trigger on the stack, Solitude the Endurance to gain more life. But now they're just going to do it this way. Okay, so take 12 to go to 4. Now, do they have Endurance? I kind of feel like they do. They don't. Okay, so... I think I'm just going to pass and then upkeep the other Blast. Yeah, I'm just going to upkeep it, because again, I don't want them to be able to Force of Negation, to pitch cast Force of Negation. I think upkeep is fine. I mean, obviously we need to hit an expensive card here, but... What did we hit? We hit a Calibrated Blast. Okay, well... 4, which is technically lethal if they don't have another Solitude. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I thought it was a Throws, not a Calibrated Blast. Never mind. For some reason, I thought it was a Throws. Whoops. So now we're dead, right? Yeah, they just play Kahira 2, 4, 6, 10. Well, we'll see if they see it. Maybe I wasn't supposed to play around Force of Negation this game. And just cast the Throws on turn 4. I don't know if it would have mattered, but... I did play around Force the entire game, and who knows if they even had it at any point. Skelemental. Alright, you win. Game 3. Let's go. We get to be in the play, though, so that's cool. Alright, game 3. Let's go. What do we got? Well, we got a Karuga. We know we got that. We know they have Kahira. And... I love this. This is a hand of the week candidate. Scion of Draco, 3 colorless lands. You'll love to see it. Alright, this hand's got a turn 2 Scion and a turn 3 Blast, so I'll keep it. Can't do much better than that, I guess. Don't think we get much better than Scion in the Blast. Now, granted, they have a lot of answers to Scion, but, you know. Which I assume they're going to get one here. They should expect me to play Scion on 2. They got Florahedron. They already have one rolled up, maybe. Alright, Indatha. Interesting. Steam Vents. Draco. So now we have the option to play Beseiju next turn if we're worried about Force of Negation. So we'll see what they do. But again, like, if they just play... Well, yeah, because... Well, if they go land Florahedron, specifically blue mana, okay, now they can't force. So now I could probably just upkeep the Blast. Especially if they take another... Well, they're not going to take this hit. They're likely going to kill this. I assume so. But if they don't kill this, we can just go for lethal, right? Just try to dome them. Alright, attack for 4. See what they got. Assume this is going to get solituded. In 3, 2, yep. Okay. Solitude, pitch, ephemerate. So that thing's dead. And now let's go Sun-Scorched Desert, upstairs. And then I'm going to upkeep the Calibrated Blast because I don't want them playing a blue source and just passing. So we're going to do it upkeep. We revealed Emrakul. All right, 15, yeah. 15, yeah. Now next turn we can just go Boseiju and then turn after Raminap Flashback. And that gets around Force. Doesn't get around Endurance. So they could cast Endurance here, which would be annoying, because then we'd have to find another Blaster or Throes of Chaos, but they're at 3. We're getting close. They can't fetch Shock. Thunderkin Awakener. Okay. Take 2. Sun-Scorched Desert. Well, that also turns off all of their mana, right? So I guess I'll just do that. Because now they just can't play anything. Because they got a 1 that can't tap this and they can't fetch. I guess I should have put Karug in my hand, but it's fine. Yeah, I should have put Karug in my hand. But now we can just go... Yeah, now we just go Raminap Ruins, upkeep, blast them. And that should be good enough. Because they can't force on their upkeep. Because they can't fetch or tap this for mana. And they can't pitch force. So, we should be good. I think I'd actually rather play the Ruins. Yeah, maybe that was dumb. Like, what could they really have if I played Desert? Well, the thing is, if I play Desert, right? Let's say they have a Solitude. They Solitude their own thing, stay at 1, and then I can't cast a Blast because I don't have 2 red in play. So I don't know. I think, like, playing this also guarantees lethal because I just upkeep this, and they literally can't do anything, right? They can't tap this for blue, they can't fetch, they can't pitch force. And yeah, so I think this is actually a more guaranteed victory. But anyways, we won a match. Yay! I'll see you back here in just a little bit for number 2. All right, YouTube, round 3. I meant to say round 3 at the end of the last round. But anyways, round 3. Let's see if we can keep blasting. Oh boy. Well, here we are again. Side of Draco, 4 colorless lands. Yeah, you know, sometimes that happens. It is what it is. Well, I got a blast, and I got some mana. So, I guess I keep. Yeah, alright, I'm down. Let's go. Opponent did not reveal a companion. Arid Mesa. Against Burn? That would have been really nice to have in my opening hand. Just gonna throw that out there. I have to get a red source here because I want to have double red to flashback blast on 5. But man, if that Caverns was in my opening hand, whew. Maybe a control deck. Ketria Triome. See what they're up to. This looks like Renin 6, maybe? It's like a Renin 6. They're at 16. 16 is the magic number. It's the magic... Well, I guess 15 is, but... 16 is a magic number. Again, we need to get a red source. Okay. Let's play Raminap Ruins and pass. Nothing going on over here. Don't worry about us. We're just over here. Just playing our lands and doing nothing. Just nothing going on. Don't worry about it. Getting iced? Looks like I'm getting iced. That kind of sucks. Looks like we're getting iced. Yeah, alright, fine. No blast for me, Sag. Could fetch the tap land, which is better if I draw... Well, if I draw Draco, I can just go... Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to draw a tap land anyways, right? Yeah, I'll just play this and pass. Alright, your turn. I don't think these decks usually have that many counterspells, depending on which particular deck they're playing. It seems like... I guess the most likely deck at this point is the Bellamachus deck, like the one that Wafa was playing. With, like, Fire Ices and that kind of stuff. I don't know how many counterspells they have. Can't be that many. Alright, there's a Dwarven Mine. Are we dying? Teferi Time Raveler. Okay. Well, they're a 15. And they have a Teferi in play, which means I have to cast my spells on my turn anyways, so I don't really have a choice. So we're going to hope to hit one of our 7 15 drops. Come on, dealer. Come on, dealer. Alright, let's go Blast Zone, Blast Zone, Blast you. Oh look, we hit a 15 drop. They're dead. Easy. It's just that easy. Alright, we're playing against Velomachus. Kind of assume they have a pile of counter spells after board, so Boseju's definitely good. I don't think they have... I mean, I feel like the only time you would ever board this in is, like, specifically Leyline of Sanctity or... What's the artifact version? Witchbane Orb. And I doubt they're playing Leyline. And this one's obviously bad. So we're just going to cut some Radiant Fountains for some Bosejus. And we're going to call it a day. It's as simple as that. Radiant Fountain's definitely the worst against them. I think so. I don't think 2 life ever matters in a matchup like this. Reveal the Hippo. Okay. I don't know about this hand. We're missing a second red mana to flash this back. We do have a factory. And a desert. Let's try it. Let's try it. Maybe I'm supposed to mulligan to Boseju, because they probably board in a pile of counterspells. Okay, that's not bad. I'll take that. I will take that, because that's kind of the same thing as a second red source, just another copy of that card. Ooh. Alright. Go. Battle. What's up? Sometimes you just gotta show them who's boss with the plant token. Alright, your turn. Actually, maybe I'm supposed to play Desert that turn instead of Factory. Because I'm so likely to... I'm never... I'm rarely ever going to activate Factory this turn. And I have to play Mountain next turn because I need to hold up Blast. I might EOT this Blast. See what they do. Yeah, I think I'll just EOT it. Get them to tap some mana. Then I can just, like, follow up with the Throes of Chaos. They're very likely to counter this, but... Dovin's Veto. Okay. Alright, Desert you. I'm just going to cast Throes because it uses my mana better, and it also is the one that's sorcery speed, so... Alright, how about this one? This one good? What do we reveal? Revealed an Emrakul. Alright, take 15. Oh, this deck is comical. I love this deck. Look, I don't know if it's good, but man, it's sweet. It's sweet when you get to do the thing. I don't think it's that good. It's definitely not too good. I'll tell you that much. Alright, Dwarven Mine. Oh, are they going to give their stuff protection from instants? They do sometimes board in Sarah's Emissary. Thing is, this doesn't answer Sarah's Emissary, because if they name instant, then I'm still just cold anyways. The Velomachus and a Charma? Wow. Charma, huh? So maybe they're not playing the version that has Sarah's Emissary. Well, if they don't hit a Time Walk, they die. They hit a Hard Evidence. So, outside of Force Negation, we should be good. Let's play Ruins and Blast Off. Hit a Scion of Draco. Alright, 2 matches, 2-1. That was sweet. Yeah, we would have definitely been in trouble if they were the version with Sarah's Emissary. They would just give themselves protection from instants, and we probably couldn't win at that point. But thankfully, they're playing with these and not emissaries. So, 2-1. See you back here in just a little bit for round number 4. Alright, YouTube. Let's see if we can keep blasting. 2-1. Round number 4. What do we got? Well, we got a Hippo. Opponent's got a companion. Is it a Lurrus? Lurrus, Kahira, Giganta. Sotron. I mean, I got turn 3 Blast, turn 4 Blast. I can't imagine I mulligan that against Tron. So, let's go. There are some other Giganta decks, but most likely it's Tron. Just need to not hit another blast or a throws. Let's play our tap land. Kept 7. Tron keeping 7, huh? Every time my opponent keeps 7, okay, yeah, I was gonna say. Usually when they keep 7, that means they're not playing Tron. Tron rarely keeps 7 cards. And when they do, you're usually dead on the spot. Doth the Triumph, Flooded Strand, huh? What that means. Well, we got Blast for days. Let's see if they crack this fetch EOT, then I might sneak in a Blast. Alright, I'm just gonna do it. Well, yeah. I know, because they could be playing with counter spells. It's bad if they have Force of Negation, I guess, but... Oh, they can't have Force because they're a Giganta deck. Right. Right. They can't have Force. We revealed Calibrated Blast. Alright, take 3. Good thing we got more of those. That's obviously the worst thing you can reveal. It's nice when they reveal Giganta and they're playing a fair deck. That means you don't have to play around Force Negation ever. It's pretty sweet. So I guess they're just maybe Tribal Zoo? Seems like Tribal Zoo. What's this? General Ferris Rockoric. Let's play the mountains so we don't have to take as much damage. Because if we don't kill them, then maybe do something else. 12? Alright, so they go to 1. So they're at 1 and the Ruins kills them. They could have Helix to go to 4. But we also just have the this in our graveyard to recast it. And even if they have like some sort of main deck graveyard hate, like Kaya's Guile, we have another Blast in our hands, so we're kind of just chilling. Yeah, so they Helix me. They go to 4. I am going to, I think, just flashback a Calibrated Blast, which plays around graveyard hate a little bit better. Yeah. If they somehow do have main deck graveyard hate, I want to just get these out of my graveyard before I do that. Because if I cast the throws, I guess we're just dead next turn anyways, but they're at 3, so it doesn't matter. All of our cards kill them. We literally can't brick. So let's just go Fountain, Flashback Blast. Literally cannot brick. Alright, cool. Got a game. Got a game against the Zoo. We boarding anything in against the Zoo? Maybe. I guess they're not necessarily Zoo. They could be playing like the more mid-rangey version. I don't know what sideboard cards they have. Maybe Gaddock Teague, which Teague only stops throws, it doesn't stop blast. Could have counter spells. But Radiant Fountain seems important. Maybe Mishra's Factory I'm never activating. We'll do like the 2 Factory, 3 Boseiju split again. Yeah, let's try that. I can't imagine ever getting to activate Factory against a deck that has like, you know, 4/4s and 5/5s and all that stuff. Like, they're a Scion Territorial Kavu deck. So this hand has Caverns, which is good, but we have none of our payoff spells, so I think I have to ship it. Kind of the same thing. I mean, we kind of have a payoff, but I don't think that's good enough. Okay, so this is our best hand for sure. I'm going to put back, I think, Desert Ruins. Or no, Desert Mesa. Keep Ruins, Mire. Or maybe Ruins Fetch and then keep one of each. Probably makes the most sense, right? Put back Ruins Fetch. Okay. They did not reveal Giganta, which is interesting. That could be Force of Negation. They didn't have Leyline of Sanctity. Definitely could be a counterspell of sorts. Alright, so this is Kavu or Draco? Draco. Alright, let's fetch our Triumph in case we draw our own Draco. Which we did not, which is fine. So now we can EOT, get the other Triome. And we can just start blasting them. Hope that's good enough. 17. I don't know. This game's going to be interesting, depending on what they play this turn. White, red. General Ferris Rockerick. Okay, here's my Triome. Let's go... I don't think I can afford to play that this turn. I think I gotta try and dome them. I'm gonna just main phase this. We revealed Scion of Draco. Alright, take 12. Take 12, hope you don't have a counterspell. Maybe we'll draw a Radiant Fountain, which would potentially let us survive even if they have a counterspell for the next blast. Because we got 2 more blasts in our hand. So if they tap out, we're good. They didn't have force that turn. I think I had to go for it while they were tapped out. Because, I mean, now if they just hold up mana, I'm kind of in a bad spot, obviously. But maybe they'll just tap out again. Alright, they're going to 3. I guess they could just have, like, double Tribal Flames. That would kill us. How about Bloodbraid Elf Tribal Flames? That's 9. Yeah, that's lethal. So Elf Tribal Flames kills us. Aww. Aww. Alright, game 3. I don't think anything I could have done about that. Just one of those games where if I was in the play, I would have won. Just lost because I was on the draw. That's Modern for you. Alright, game number 3. Karuga. So this hand is turn 2 Scion, turn 4 Throws. Is that good enough? I think so. Let's try it. It's possible I'm supposed to just mulligan to Blast on the play, but... Oh, right, okay. Well, I guess we lose now. I don't know why I'm fetching main phase, but... Yeah, I guess I should have considered bringing in Consign when they didn't reveal Giganta. Should have maybe thought a little bit more about that. But because they didn't have... Like, I assumed that if they had Leyline and they boarded in Leyline, they would just mulligan to it. And they didn't have it in game number 2. So when they didn't mulligan to it in game 2, I kind of just thought that they maybe just didn't have it. Because if they had it, I feel like they're more likely going to mulligan to it, you know? But it is what it is. Maybe their thought process is on the play, they don't need to mulligan to it as much. So that's why they just kept like a pretty good 7 on the play. Yeah, tough game. I mean, we're not dead, but we're probably dead. Oh, I don't know why I played that. I can't even target them. Should have played the Ruins. Also, should have put the thing in my hand. I guess I can just do it next turn. I have nothing else to do with my mana. Alright, well... You never know. You never know. Are we gonna... There's no way, right? There's no way we're just gonna win with Karuga beatdowns. God, miss another land drop. Oh my goodness. There's no way, right? Dude, Karuga plus Scion beatdowns? No way. Karuga draws a card. They drew a land. Ooh, they don't have a spell, though. That's good. Alright, attack you for 4. 7. Play Karuga. Draw a card. And you can go. I have a 5/4 hexproof trample. That's pretty good. 5/4 hexproof. Yes. Nice Leyline. See? You don't even need to board in the consigns. Why are they even in the sideboard? We're 3-1. I'll see you back here in just a little bit for the last round. All right, YouTube. Well, I'm already running well above expectations with this deck, so I can't. We're already on house money. We're just having fun here at this point. I mean, I'm gonna try to win, obviously, but well above expectations. Turn 4 on the draw, no caverns. I think this is too slow in the dark. Okay, this is turn 3 with a Beseiju, So I think I'm down to keep this and put back... I think Mishra's Factory is the worst land on the draw. It's the one that you're least likely to fire up. And, like, you can make an argument for gain 2 life is important. Chancellor of the Annex? Well, that sucks. Huh. Okay. Well, this is gonna be tough. Grief. Okay. Well, we're gonna get annihilated this game. Good God. Yeah, we're gonna get destroyed this game. So our first spell costs an additional mana, and our first spell right now is a 5-drop. So yeah, not looking great. Oh, but we have Beseiju, which actually stops the Chancellor. That is important. Okay, that's actually not bad for us. The fact that Beseiju stops Chancellor, okay. So that's fine. So, I don't know, winnable, I guess, maybe, probably not. Alright, well, we're not taking 3 damage, that's good, and we drew not a land, or not a spell. Did draw land. We know they have Chancellor, so maybe they just do nothing. Maybe we also draw another Blast. Cool thing about drawing Throes of Chaos is the Throes of Chaos is actually the bait for the Chancellor. So, that's kind of cool, too. Opponent's back. They fetch the swamp, have a Priest of Fell Rites. Okay. I got Blood Crypt and a pass. See what else they got. Alright, swamp attack for 5. Yep. Okay, so 15. Technically, we're okay. I need to get a red source into play, so let's play this, and then... So what I think what I want to do is get a red source that casts Karuga, because what I might do this game, what I think I'm going to try and set up is go get a Triumph here, next turn play Colony Garden, chump block here, put Karuga in hand, and then the turn after I have 2 red sources in play, I have the option to cast Karuga, or I could just blast. So... And again, I can blast with the Beseiju, but the problem is pay 2 life, so it's go fetch to 14, take 5 to 9. Next turn, Garden. I guess I don't even really want to put the Karuga in my hand because I have to tap this. So Garden pass, most likely. Turn after, chump block here, go to 6, go back up to 8, down to 6, down to 1. It's dicey. It's definitely dicey. Basically dead if they have literally any card, but, you know, here we are. Gotta get a red source. Yeah, so I think... It's actually probably better to just play the Fountain, because it's 2 life either way, but if I play the Garden and they have a removal spell, I don't actually gain the 2 life. And this also allows me to put Karuga in my hand, if that matters, without taking damage. So now I'm at 11. Now I take 5... Oh, but I guess this gives me no outs, right? Because by doing it this way... So I think what I had to do there was play the Garden, hope they didn't have a removal spell. Because then I go Garden block here, take 3, go to 6. Next turn, play Fountain back up to 8, cast Blast down to 6. And then take 5, go to 1. This way, I'm at 6. Okay, that was a good draw. So I go back up to 8, down to 6, down to 1. Okay, so I have to draw another Blast, basically. So I go up to 8, down, take 5, down to 3, Beseiju down to 1, blast through the Archon, or whatever it's called, Chancellor, and then hope to draw the blast. Or actually, yeah, they're gonna go to 1 if I hit a 15, right? Yeah. So then we're just good. As long as we hit a 15, we're good. Bang. Bang, light them up. So they're at 1. I guess they could have Solitude. They get Solitude, their own thing. Let's hope this works. Solitude or no? Did not have Solitude. Cool. Alright. Playing against Grief Ephemerate. Well, the Fally Academy is quite good against them, so let's do that. The question is, do I actually want these... Do I want all of the Beseijus for Chancellor? I think I do. I think I just want to bring all of this stuff in. I want to cut Factory. I don't think I'm ever firing up Factory. Colony Garden is not that good because it doesn't block Archon and it doesn't block Grief because Grief has Menace. So Garden kind of sucks and probably Blast Zone sucks. And I think everything else makes sense. Yeah, let's do this. I guess I could bring in the Bounce Spell for Archon. I don't know if that's worth it, though. I don't think it is. I think this is good. Okay, so reveal Karuga. I think I gotta keep it. The nice thing about this matchup is, like, if they grief my hand a bunch, my stuff has flashback, so outside of Graveyard Hate, we can just cast that stuff, even after it gets discarded. It's possible on the draw I'm supposed to mulligan to a Caverns, but... let's lead on a fetch in case we draw Scion of Draco. Now I can just cast Scion if I draw that. Ooh, no second land? I like that. Maybe they're just discarding a fatty. Alright, Endotha Triome. Okay, let's play this tapped. Pass. Did not draw the Scion of Draco. But we do just have Blast into throws, so... You never know. Might be good enough. Alright, so they are discarding, seems like probably a fatty. What's this? Hopefully it's not Terastodon. Archon of Cruelty. I can beat that. Alright, let's go... Sun-Scorched Desert, Domu, and then pass. So now, if they get back Archon, they go to 22. Nope, okay, never mind. So we should just have free reign here. Just do whatever we want. Alright, so the... Oh, no. We had another Calibrated Blast. Well, that's not great. That is not great. So, let's go Raminap Ruins, Throes of Chaos. Now, this is going to be awkward if they draw a Graveyard Hate spell. But we shall see. Alright, we revealed... Is that a worm? Or no, wait, hold on. Dismiss all. Cast this. And then see what we hit. Alright, Emrakul, you get a 1. Now they can't fetch. They're also just dead to this now. So if they go non-fetch land, Sire of Insanity... I don't know, I mean, this game's probably over. Alright, well, I guess they just kept the 1-lander. That's how you win with this deck, huh? That's how you win with this deck. Is they just keep a 1-lander. Alright, cool. They're off it. I 4-1 with this deck. I'm gonna tell you, YouTube, I did not expect the 4-1 with this deck. I guess, you know, your opponent's keeping 1-landers makes it easy on you. Maybe this deck's not as much of a meme as I think it is. I mean, it definitely is, but, you know, you could do worse. You could definitely play a worse deck. It's a lot of fun, you know, when you get to just dome them for 15. I don't really have much to say. I mean, like, this deck kind of builds itself. You have to maximize your Calibrated Blast, which means you have to play a ton of lands, and these lands all make sense. The one thing I will notice, that I noticed, is the Scion of Draco is a little bit hard to cast with all of these utility lands, so maybe you want to trim down on some of this stuff. But, like, the deserts, the fountains, the factories, and the caverns you kind of have to play, so it's really just, like, these 3 flexes. I guess maybe factory's not the best. Like, it seems like every deck can kill a factory, so you can maybe cut those. And maybe find some better sideboard cards, because I just, like, never even wanted to bring these in. So, the lands are good, but in all, deck was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. That was a lot of fun. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.